This is the tip that I'm going to go through this week is something that I very commonly get asked by homeowners. When you guys are with a homeowner, what are some of the objections, or what are some of the things that you typically hear them say to you? What are some of the things that they'll typically say to you? They're on the foreclosure list. What are they saying to you? I got it handled. I got it handled. What else might they be saying to you if they know that they don't have it handled? They have an offer? What else? What else? Has anyone encountered a homeowner that has said to them, I don't want to move? Yes. That would be probably about 50% or more, maybe 75% of the people that are on the foreclosure list. Is that correct? And have they been fighting it? Have they been enjoying these last 2 years, a little bit of foreclosure moratorium? Right? Have they been enjoying that? Yes. Do they want to continue to enjoy that? Yes. Do they want to stay? Has life gotten any better for them over the last 2 years? No. So what are they going to ask you to do? What are they going to ask you to do for them? Somebody said catch up their mortgage for them. Yeah, okay. Let me ask you guys something. How many of you feel like you would fall into the category of being a big-hearted investor? None of you. Jerry, you buy coffee and you move people. Come on. How many of you guys will fall into the category of being a big-hearted investor? I want to help people. I want to solve problems. Okay, not as many of you as I would think. How many of you guys fall into the category of I just want to make money and I'm just going to steamroll whoever's in front of me? Okay, thank you for being honest. Make sure to tag this guy. No, I'm kidding. So here's what I find. Man, do some of these homeowners have some really sad stories? Yes. And is it heartbreaking? Incredibly. And one of the things that I find is that a lot of people that have gotten in this business to help others, and a lot of people have gotten in this business to want to create these creative offers and be creative in our offers, and you're talking to a seller, and some of these sellers have a lot of equity, especially now. Do sellers have more equity than they've ever had? Yes. This is such an interesting market versus 2008, 2008, 9, 10, 11. So many of the sellers that I was working with had absolutely no equity. In fact, in most cases, negative equity, right? So when we were negotiating, were they looking at walking away with any money? No. But in this market, are even the sellers who are on the foreclosure list looking at walking away with money? The answer is yes, right? The answer is yes. So since there is that equity position, what you will find is if you have not yet encountered this, you will encounter this, where someone is asking you to put a new lien on their property. Hey, you look nice. You look like you have money. How about you pay off my loan? I'll buy it. They'll sweeten this deal for you. They will sweeten this deal for you. They will say, I will buy it from you for another $50,000 above what I owe. What are you guys thinking? My ears have perked up. This is all of a sudden an interesting conversation. If you'll just do what? Just catch me up. I just need somebody. I just need a little bit longer. I just need a little bit longer. 2.5 years has not been long enough. No, I just need a little bit longer. But I have all this equity. My property's worth $400,000. I only owe $250,000, but the bank's still taking me to auction. I can't get a loan. Why can't they get a loan? Say again? Their credit's bad. Are you going to get a loan after you've been missing payments for even a month? No. So what do they need? They just need you. They just need you and your wallet and your coffee and your moving boxes. Yeah. I just need it for a little bit of time. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. And then what do they want you to do after you reinstate it? What's the next big ask that they have for you? Let them stay there. Yes? What's the next big ask that they have for you after that? What's the next big ask after they ask you to reinstate it, after they ask if they can stay there? What's the next big ask? Is that you will sell it back to me. Yeah? How does that sound to you guys? They owe $250, it's worth $400. Let's suspend repairs for the moment, right? They have equity. This, I'll buy it back from you for $300. I don't care, I just want to stay here. Insert multiple reasons here. What do you think? I'll buy it back from you in the next year. I could make $50K on that. Does that sound good? It sounds good, but it sounds good, but it's a little bit of a trap. I'll tell you, probably one of the funniest stories that a seller has ever said to us was, this person had been behind for years, and the bank had been trying to foreclose on him for years, and he had been getting out of foreclosure for years. What was the strategy he was using, guys? No? This is before COVID. What was the strategy he was using? Who said bankruptcy? Bankruptcy. How often can you declare bankruptcy, though?
Every 7 years.
Every couple of years, yeah. Every couple of years. So how could he be extending this thing and extending this thing and extending this thing? He taught us a trick.
You can file for bankruptcy, but not file.
No? Could you deed a 1% interest in your property over to someone else who is just about to file bankruptcy, so that their bankruptcy filing would cover your property? That's dirty. Isn't that? Isn't that? Here's the wild, funny part. So, you know, it's like whenever I meet somebody who is like has been on the foreclosure list for like years, and you can see these reports and it'll detail how long they've been on the foreclosure list. I just like, part of me is like, I'm just fascinated. Like, I'm just curious, like, tell me how you've done this, right? And it's kind of like, you know, like Dr. Evil, right? It's like they catch the good guy and they loosely tie him up. You know what I'm talking about, right? They catch the good guy, they loosely tie him up, and then they tell them about their plans to rule and take over the world. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the theme of every, you know, Hollywood, you know, James Bond, Austin Powers type show there is. You guys follow me? You guys, don't tell me you guys don't watch TV, because I know that's not true. So he starts to tell us like this strategy. And then he says, with a straight face, I'm really looking for someone to refinance me out of all this mess. Would you be open to helping me so that I could stay in my property? And I'm thinking like, you know, I have a teenage boy, you know, and I'm thinking, did he write something like across my forehead and I just haven't noticed it that said like, this person is an idiot. Ask them, you know, to do something that's completely idiotic that no one would do. And I mean, it was like, I mean, I'm sitting there just trying to hold my laughter in from telling this person no. But is that something that could happen to you should you give them a loan? Yes, right? Are we in the business of doing home equity lines of credit or home loans to people? Like, what have they already proven to you, to the bank, beyond a shadow of a doubt? That would be called their inability to pay. And lenders commonly refer to it as ATP, ability to pay, but they've proven their inability to pay. But what happens is a lot of these homeowners who really need to sell, but they don't yet want to, listen, they're going to make this offer to every person that comes through their door. Are there going to be some people who just don't know any better and don't know the rules and don't know the law and don't know the Dodd-Frank and don't know the SAFE Act and don't know the T-SAFE Act and don't know the Texas home equity line of credit laws?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Might they catch one of those fish? Yes. Might it work out? Who knows? But are they taking a lot of risk? Yes, because they're uneducated. So I want you guys to be prepared for this ultimate scenario that is going to happen. In fact, this is a story that I was talking about with another investor this morning over breakfast. So I wanted to give you an idea of what this looks like and some other options that you can have. So again, homeowner has equity, is about to get foreclosed on, doesn't want to sell or leave their house, wants you to give them a loan on their house, and they'll pay you interest on the reinstatement. They'll pay you back as soon as they can. They'll buy it back from you at a higher price. And they'll accomplish all of this. What they haven't been able to accomplish in some cases in 2 years, they're going to accomplish it with you in 6 to 12 months, right? And they will bait you by offering you that 50K equity, right, which is much better. If you're reinstating 50K and you get 50K back in 6 months, is that a great return on your investment? Yes, if you ever get it back. If you ever get it back. So the issue is there is a constitutional prohibition against mortgaging a homestead unless you are licensed to do so. How many of you guys are RMLOs in here? Okay, I saw not a single hand go up. So what does that mean for all of you guys? You'd be in the group of folks that was disqualified to do this, right? And then, now, some of you guys are going to get very creative because that greed's going to kick in. You're like, how can we figure this out, right? What are the workarounds, right? What are the workarounds? And I will tell you that any effort to work around the constitutional prohibition can be contested by the borrower. So what does that mean to you? That note and that deed of trust that you had them sign won't hold up. Will not allow you to foreclose on them, which is really your only remedy at this point. And they will go from hugging you and kissing you on the lips to your arch nemesis enemy, okay? Seriously, seriously. Is this a chance that you want to take? And the answer is no. So the courts will review the intent of the transaction, and if it was a workaround, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, the court will consider the sale to be a pretended sale. So what do you need to know about this idea of being a pretended sale? So the pretended sale means the deed of trust allowing the lender to use the property as collateral will be voided. And guys, this is your only way to be able to collect via a foreclosure if the borrower defaults. So the lender will be left trying to collect a payment from who? A very sneaky, very maybe dishonest, or very just do whatever it takes to be able to stay in the property owner. And do we encounter some of these folks? Yes, you will. Do you want to help them because you got a big heart? Yes, you will. Do you want to help them because you got a little bit of greed in you? Yes, you will. And especially when you combine good heart with greed, oh man, the imaginations that you will come up with will be tremendous, right? But who do you need to have on your team to make sure that you don't get yourself in trouble? An attorney. An attorney. So this is where I get to disclose I am not an attorney, CPA, or financial planner, but I have consulted with many attorneys, CPAs, and financial planners on exactly these types of strategies, trying to look for ways that I could help someone who was in a lot of trouble, okay? Trying to see if I could help somebody get back on their feet and trying to see if I could make money while doing it. Now, I'll show this one slide. There's a lot on here, and I owe all of this to my attorney. So this is not to be considered legal advice, but this is what my attorney shared with me. So this is what is the definition behind that pretend sale. And I know this is an eye chart. but there's just so many different items that the idea here is there are so many different items that you can get caught in that would make this a pretend sale. So I don't want that to be any of you guys as you are working through. The bottom line, bring your big heat. Bring the heat too, bring the heart, really, but look for other solutions. So guys, what might some of those other solutions be? What might some of those? Buy the house and rent it back to them. Oh, I mean, I like it, and I've wanted to do that too. But what happens when you get someone in there who now comes back and says, Patty? Yeah. Patty told me she was going to sell it back to me. So what does it now become? An executory contract, a lease with an option to buy, and if it's extended over 180 days, are you violating a whole bunch of new laws? And the answer is yes, right? So guys, be careful with that strategy too. Be careful with that strategy too. What else can we do though? When are they going to be ready? What are some of their other options? If they haven't already declared bankruptcy, what could they now do? Declare bankruptcy. Is that going to buy them a little more time? Yes. Is sometimes that really all that they need? Maybe. And what happens when they're out of bankruptcy and they're in the same situation? What's next? No, the bank's going to foreclose on them before they could do that again. Well, first I'll say if they've never declared bankruptcy, I would start with a TRO. TRO stands for temporary restraining order. Think of it as like you don't want that ex-boyfriend or girlfriend to be bothering you anymore. In this case, it is that you don't want that bank to be bothering you anymore. Typically, if you do a temporary restraining order, you get a 30-day or a 1-month reprieve here in Texas. So if there's something that you can sort out quickly, like you're looking to sell it, you just need to get HOA documents, you need to get a lien or judgment resolved, right? That 30 days should be enough to be able to get that done. Now, and then your next step is a bankruptcy. The bankruptcy will take them out of the foreclosure process for somewhere between 2 to 6 months, depending on whether or not the bankruptcy is dismissed, meaning they didn't go through with everything, or discharged, meaning they got through of everything, but now they're back on the street for the bank to foreclose on them. So then who's going to help them then? That's when if they don't win the lottery between now and the auction day, it's just me and you, right? So how can you help them in that situation? You can buy it then, right? You can buy it then. Now the trustee may have to write a little letter that says that it can now be sold, right? Depending on what stage it is in that bankruptcy process. But the issue here is what? Now we're another 6 months down the line, and now we're another 6 months of them having not done what? Make payments. So what has happened to the equity in their house? It is decreased. They have used it up. Here's the thing. They don't see it like that. They see, I still need that 100 or 200 or whatever it is out of it. Well, no, you got prepaid on that. What do you mean I got prepaid on that? Well, when you were living here and not paying, you got prepaid some of your profits. That is a very difficult concept for someone in this situation to get. But that is your job to be able to explain that to them. But you also need to explain to them before they declare bankruptcy, what is bankruptcy really going to do for you? Is it going to delay the inevitable? Is it going to cost you more money? Is it going to cost you more penalties and interest? Could you take the money and run today and do better renting a place at $1,500 a month than getting hit with this payment of $2,500 a month plus penalties plus interest, etc.? Yes. You can slow it down, but it's coming. The train is still coming. The train is still coming. So did that help give you a little bit of insight into what to do? Not if you encounter that situation as a real estate investor, but when you encounter that situation as a real estate investor. Okay, one person. Let me try that again. Maybe you guys, I know you're out there, like literally I can hear some of you actually breathing. I mean, did this tip help you? Yes. Okay, thank you. I'm up here working my butt off for you guys and trying to make it entertaining. I wanna get a little feedback. So guys, as part of Texas REIAs, we get to share tribal knowledge of what we are encountering all the time. And this was literally something that I had a talk with another investor over at breakfast this morning. This is stuff that you, again, will encounter as a real estate investor. You just don't know exactly when you are going to encounter it, but be ready for it.